Hello and welcome to this week's edition of Buckeye Sports Now. I'm Colin Hassel and here's this week's top sports news. Ohio State's 17th ranked women's soccer team returned home on Friday to host 10th ranked Nebraska. The Buckeyes, who started out the season 6-1, have struggled as of late, losing 2 of their past 3 games and tying their 3rd. Lantern TV's William Kosileski covered the game for Lantern TV and has more.
The number 17 Ohio State women's soccer team suffered their 4th loss of the season tonight as the number 10 Nebraska Cornhuskers came into the Burt L. and Iris S. Wolstein Field at Jesse Owens Memorial Stadium and defeated the Buckeyes by a final score of 3-0.
Well, I think that there was a combination of things. One, you have to credit Nebraska. They showed up with a lot of moxie and a physical style that had them sliding for every ball and cutting off lanes. And quite frankly, we just played too slowly, trying to change the point of the attack. We just weren't hitting the ball well, and our execution wasn't there tonight.
In the first 20 minutes of the match, it was back and forth as both teams had their chances to score. But in the 28th minute, Nebraska's senior forward, J.C. Johnson, finished this shot to score her 5th goal of the season. This would be just the beginning of her great night. She would go on to score this header off a corner kick in the 36th minute, and then this shot in the 59th minute gave her the hat trick. The Cornhuskers outshot the Buckeyes 15-11 in the match. Ohio State had their chances, but they were unable to finish and had a hard time putting it all together.
We've got to go back to the drawing board a little bit. We've given up 11 goals in the last several games, and we've got to do better.
The Buckeyes will have an off day on Saturday, but will come right back here on Sunday to take on the Iowa Hawkeyes. For Lantern TV, I'm William Kosileski. Back to you, Colin.
Thanks, William. 2 days later, the Buckeyes welcomed the Iowa Hawkeyes to Jesse Owens Memorial Field, still searching for their first win in conference play. Lantern TV reporter Daniel McNatt has more on the Buckeyes' attempt to end their winless streak.
On Sunday, the Ohio State women's soccer team hosted Iowa looking for their first victory after 4 winless matches. But the Buckeyes, who haven't scored in their last 2 games, struggled out of the gate to take advantage of their many scoring opportunities, which included 8 shots and 5 corner kicks. Despite going into the half scoreless, Coach Lori Walker felt confident her team would be able to rally and find the back of the net in the second half.
They were doing all the things they needed to create those goal-scoring opportunities, so I knew it was just a matter of time, and everybody rallied and did their job. Just
4 minutes into the second half, co-captain Lindsey Agnew fired a shot deflecting off Iowa goalie Claire Grace's hands, barely crossing the goal line, giving the Buckeyes a 1-0 lead. And only 2 minutes later, Agnew received a pass from Nichelle Prince in the box to tuck in her 2nd goal of the game. Once again, 2 minutes later, Sammy Edwards delivered a beautiful cross to set up Agnew's 3rd goal and solidify her hat trick. That gave Ohio State a 3-0 lead, which they would hold on to until the final whistle, giving them their first Big Ten victory of the season. The Buckeyes, who haven't played well against conference competition, look to pick up their 2nd Big Ten win as they host Northwestern on Saturday at 7 p.m.
Our conference is a funny one. It doesn't matter really where you start, it's only where you finish, and it's not something I ever worry about. I've been here a long time, and I've seen us go from 7th to 1st very quickly. I've also gone the other direction.
Reporting for Lantern TV, I'm Daniel McNatt.
Thanks, Daniel. While the Buckeyes have returned home, senior goalkeeper Jillian McVicker remains hospitalized in Minnesota with a punctured lung and cracked ribs, which occurred from a collision during the Minnesota game. She arrived home Monday after an outpouring of love from her teammates, friends, and celebrities. We wish Jillian a speedy recovery from everyone here at the Lantern TV, where she worked as an assistant sports director. With the Ohio State men's hockey season just days away, assistant sports editor for the Lantern, Jacob Myers, spoke with players and coach Steve Rohlik as they prepare for their first exhibition game on Sunday.
I think we all are excited about, high hopes for the season, but we still need to put in the work, and right now all that doesn't mean that much. We gotta put it out there on the ice and be ready to go.
And that's, I think, one of our strengths is our depth for sure. And we've talked about that in all of my years here to, be a 4-line team and just keep the hammer down. And one line goes and wears down the team, and then the next line goes out and scores that goal. And I think more than ever, we're built for that.
My goal is to be a better team at the end than it is at the beginning. I'd like to go out there and obviously have some success. And to me, it's not about winning a Big Ten or getting to a national tournament or doing all that. If this team goes out there and gives me everything they got every night, I think the wins will follow.
This week, Ohio State has a full slate of sporting events. On Wednesday, OSU's 3-6 men's soccer team will look to bounce back from a 2-0 loss at Bowling Green as the Buckeyes host Southern Illinois Evansdale on Wednesday at 7. Also that night at 7, the Buckeyes women's volleyball team will host Northwestern as they search for their first Big Ten win after dropping games to Wisconsin and Minnesota this weekend. Friday at 3:30, Kent State's field hockey team travels to Columbus to take on the Ohio State team that has dropped 4 straight games. That night at 7, the women's soccer team looks for their second win in a row as they play Northwestern at Jesse Owens Memorial Stadium. But before then, after a week off, Urban Meyer and the undefeated Ohio State football team come back to the Shoe, taking on the 2-2 Rutgers Scarlet Knights on Saturday at noon. That's all from the Sports Desk. Make sure to tune in on Saturday and throughout the week for exclusive football coverage, analysis, and stay tuned for next week's Buckeye Sports Now. Make sure to follow us on Twitter and Instagram and give us a like on Facebook. Thanks for watching.